Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about a topic that I think we're all somewhat guilty of within our photography journey, and that's comparing ourselves to others. So, hands up if you've compared yourself to others, other photographers, and it could be to any degree, at any level, for any reason, be it gear, business, lifestyle, whatever. Have you done it? Does it make you feel good when you do it? Usually, no. Let's not forget that what we see when you start comparing yourself to others, usually, and this is comparing yourself to photographers, comparing yourself to vloggers, travel vloggers, social media, shall we just say famous people, is you're seeing the highlight reel. You're seeing the successes. You're seeing the moments where things are working well. You're seeing the periods of time during a given year, month, whatever, where things are going okay. What you tend not to see, because it's not usually shown or talked about a whole lot, some people do talk about it, is the times and things when it's not so good, when things are going to hell in a handbasket. So let's keep things in perspective. A photography pun for you. Comparing yourself to others is a losing game. It's a downhill slope. It's a rabbit hole you do not want to go down. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and look at others' work and aspire to create work like that, be it quality of work, or aspire to get your business to the level that theirs is, with their level of clientele. It may not be the same kind of clientele because you might be in a different sector of the industry, a different genre that you do, but trying to get yourself to that level, that's fine. But don't go down the comparison route. It's just a slippery slope. How often have you done this and then felt shit for doing it after? Because you've sat there for a couple of hours, you've wasted hours over days, weeks, months, however long it may be, comparing yourself to others, looking at others' lifestyle, what they've got, what gear they've got, what studio they've got, what business they've got, only to then feel pretty crap about doing it. So let's try this. If you think back to the time when you first picked up a camera, when you got into photography, there could be any number of reasons why you picked that camera up, and that's fine. But remember what it felt like to pick the camera up and make your first image. And this could be with a digital camera, with a film camera. I don't care about the medium at this point, but remember what the experience was like. And during that time, were you thinking, now honestly, answer this honestly, were you thinking about the next camera body, the next camera brand, what another photographer was doing and what they had, what someone's business was like? You weren't, because you had no idea what you were doing at the time, and you weren't even thinking that you would want to go into business doing this at that stage. It's just a little twinkle in the eye at that point. So remember why you picked the camera up. Remember what you enjoyed about photography all those years ago. For some of you it could be last year, for some of you it could be many, many years ago, like me. Remember why you picked the camera up and what you loved about pressing the shutter. Let's get back to that. Stop comparing yourself to others, because it's a slippery slope. It doesn't help you. Instead, yes, okay, look at their work. You can be inspired by it, although personally I think inspiration will find you working, rather than this whole inspiration thing that's going on social media. But there we go. You've got to start putting the work in, and ideas and inspiration will come to you at that point. That's my ethos on that. That's a whole other video. But remember why you started doing this. And those people whose work you admire or you look up to, be it maybe their business is doing really well, or maybe it's the level and quality of work that they're producing. And let's be frank, those two areas are the ones we should really be looking at and be aspiring to do better towards. It shouldn't be about, I want the next camera, I want to have that camera because that person's got it, I want that light because that person's got it, because that's bollocks. It's not going to improve your photography at all, and it'll get you nowhere. So stick with the gear that you've got, but aspiring to improve yourself as a photographer in your craft, fine. Let people help you or inspire you if you're that way inclined, and do that. Sit down and talk to them. Reach out to someone whose work you like. Maybe take them for some food, lunch, a coffee. See if they're looking for an assistant for an odd day or so, and you can work alongside them. And I'll caveat that with, when you get booked as an assistant, be it on a pro bono basis, be it as the exchange is you learning, watching them work, or they're paying you to be their assistant, that is not for you to then start hammering them with questions during a job, because you will not last 5 minutes. They're not there to teach you in that regard or that aspect when they're working, and you're there to be their assistant and do what they ask at that point. So keep it simple. But go down those avenues. Don't compare yourself to others. Stop watching YouTube videos with what's in my camera bag. If it's making you start to compare what you have or don't have in comparison to what they have. I know, ironic, right? I've just put up 2 videos about the camera bodies and lenses that I use. But again, it took me years to get to this. And my work that I do requires different gear than what yours does. Everybody's different. They have a different background. They come from different walks of life. They have different experiences, different parents, relationships with siblings, friends. They went to different schools, different towns, different parts of the world. So, like, why are we sat there comparing ourselves to those people? They're on a different journey. Let them do their thing. Congratulate them. So, good job on that campaign. Yes, in your head, you'd love to be, oh man, I wish I had that. I'd love to be able to have that level of clientele. I wish I was shooting that campaign. Flip it. Congratulate them on a job well done, and just say, look, it's where I'm looking to get to myself. You never know, they may reach back to you and say, look, I met this guy and sat down and talked with him. It cost me some money, but he was a huge help when I was getting going. You may be put in touch and build a contact that way. So think about it more positively rather than negatively of, I wish I was there. I wish I was doing what he does. I wish I was doing what she does. I wish I had what they had. Because it's just not going to help you at all. Remember why you picked the camera up in the first place. Remember how it made you feel when you first pressed the shutter and made your first pictures. And if you look back at them now, they're probably going to be awful. Everybody starts somewhere. Don't worry about that. But the last thing you thought about was the next camera, the gear, what the next person down the street who just picked the camera up had or was doing or what was not doing. That stuff doesn't matter. So why should it matter now? So let's put it back into perspective. What are your thoughts on this subject? Are you suffering from this at the moment? It's not like I'm suffering from gas. That's the obvious one that gets thrown around. But are you suffering from comparing yourself to others? And what is that doing to you personally, in your mindset, your frame of mind? And what is it doing to you in your creative life, be it as a photographer, videographer? And if you're honest, you'll probably find that it's not doing anything great. It's probably been more of a hindrance, more of an energy drainer. So flip it around. Think about where you want to go yourself. Think about what you want to achieve and set out some goals and work to achieve it. And when you're stuck, and you will get stuck, ask for some help. Reach out to someone. Ask for some friends and family's advice. They can help as well. You might think not because they're not looking to be in the industry that you are, but they may have some sage advice or a totally fresh set of eyes, a different perspective or way of looking at something. So sit and have a talk with them. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. It's a little bit of a brain dump. I've not kind of scripted or written this out, as you can probably tell. But let me know what you're going through at the moment, what you're struggling with. You will not be alone. Trust me on that. There's people out there that you can reach out to, associations, camera clubs, groups, online, in person. In person's better, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. Who you can sit and talk to and can help. So let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what you'd like to see on this channel coming up. I'm still experimenting with a few things format wise. This is just a absolute brain dump of a conversation with you, if you will. I'm still trying a few things lighting wise, audio wise, cameras. So bear with me on that. Oh, I do also have, on a lighter note, bit heavy that, wasn't it? I have some content coming up over the next couple of weeks. Some of it is old content, some of it is new content. So you may see a little bit of a mix of image quality, audio quality, format and what have you. So do bear with me on that. The old content I think still has value. It needs embedding on blog posts that are still live on the blog. So I've shifted some of that over to this channel as we move forward. Come the end of October, that'll all be done and it'll be new content going forward. So let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know your thoughts on this topic and I will catch you guys in the next video.